All right, so let's go on to where you can get your protein. Now, this is the main question that a lot of people ask to vegans. How do you get your protein being vegan? I mean, all you do is eat salads, all you do is eat vegetables, fruits. Where how can you be how is it able how are you able to retrieve or acquire so much protein on such a on just a plant-based diet? So, here's the thing about protein. There's protein in a lot of different things, a lot of different foods. You know, you have protein in tofu, you have protein in tempeh. We also got quinoa, broccoli. You have all the substitution like products or companies like Gardein, Tofurkey, Beyond Meat. There's tons of stuff that has protein out there. Now, with protein, especially being a vegan protein, now, are there different types of proteins? Yes, there is. There is different types of proteins. See, I believe that as a society, we're so desensitized on, the only way you can get protein is through animals, But my philosophy is, what does the animals eat to get their protein? These animals, and we could say any animal, like rhinos and apes and all, and what else? You got rhinos, apes, I believe giraffes. They're mammals. They retrieve a lot of protein too, but we don't consume like in the United States. We really don't consume these animals, right? They're getting their protein sources from plants, yes, but we don't consume these animals. So what's the next argument? Let's look at animals that we do consume. Cows, for example. Cows, they're huge, right? They weigh over like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, right? They're huge, they're muscular, even bulls. They're big, they're muscular. Bison, they're big and muscular. How do they get all this muscle mass as an animal? Genetics? Yeah. Genetics can play a part. But still, just like any mammal on this planet, we are mammals, right? So mammals means that we have similar characteristics of the other animals. Like we poop, we pee, we have hair on our skin, we saltate, So how do they get their protein? That's how we have to look back. If we're all mammals, right? How do they get their protein? Now, you don't see a lot of mammals walking around eating each other or eating a lot of meat. A lot of animals, and this is where we could come back to, like the biggest animals on the planet, like that's herbivores, like oxes, giraffes, hippos, gorillas. Yeah, they eat a lot of protein. They get their protein through the earth. Now let's look at animals that get their protein, but we consume. Cows, they eat grass. But here's one thing. Let's talk about genetically modified cows. Yeah, they're getting injected by steroids. Will that help with muscle mass? Of course. Yeah. And then they're injected with a whole bunch of other stuff, a lot of chemicals like antibiotics, steroids, and a whole bunch of other stuff they put in them. But when we look at the food source that cows mostly eat, and now we're just going to use cows for example. Cows consume soybeans, right? Guess what? Guess where tofu is made out of? Soybeans, right? So soybeans is what? This is where we can say the difference between complete and incomplete proteins. Soy is a complete protein. Now, we can all sit here and say, yeah, 80% of the world's soybeans are genetically modified, right? But, and that's true, but, well, if we compare apples to oranges, right, what do you think is worse? A, eating an animal. First of all, you're taking away another life. Second of all, the process that has to, just to process that animal for consumption, you know, how much product is done to process this animal? It's not like we just shoot it and eat it, you know, by nature, like a regular carnivore, like a lion, you know, they kill the prey and they eat and they share it to their pride, you know, simple, right? I think things should be a little bit more simpler. Yeah, we're complex human beings. We're complex species on the planet. But damn, you know, all the shit we have to do to process a cow just to eat, you know, we have to raise it. We have to put antibiotics in it so it doesn't get sick. You know, we have to cattle it, you know, graze it from land to land. Let's say it's grass-fed. Let's be nice and make it a grass-fed cow. You know, you have to take it to different pastures to graze, you know, because when they graze, they eat up the grass. When the grass is done, guess what? They poop all over the place. Now that's the fertilizer for more grass, right? So you can't sit in their shit. So you have to move the cows to different pastures so it can eat, everything can balance. Now when you're done with that, done raising them and all this stuff, this takes years, right? Now you have to go kill it. Now you kill it, then you have to drag it to the butchers. The butcher has to slice it all up, de-skin it, you know, take out the parts we can eat, you know, because we take out the tongue. I mean, some people eat that. You know, I'm from the Caribbeans and stuff. They eat cow slong and cow tongues, man. And I think that's pretty disgusting, man. Like eating a tongue and a slong. Yo, let me tell you a story. Off subject. Let me tell you a story. I went 10 years ago, I believe. I'm West Indian. I went to a restaurant and I saw this on the menu. Cow tongue, cow brains, cow slong, right? And I was with my mom, and I believe I was in the military at the time. And when I saw this on the menu, I was like, is this exactly what I think it is? Like a slong? Like, or is this like a Jamaican accent thing? Some like code or something like this? Like, what is a slong? Like a slong? Like a dick? My mom's like, yeah, they eat the penis. I was like, no way. That's disgusting. How can you eat penis? What's the whole point of eating a penis? Like, who wants to eat a cow penis? You know? And my mom's like, well, in the Caribbeans, you know, they eat a lot of things that might be a little weird. And they're true believers of using the whole cow. You know? Here in America, I mean, we use everything in the cow, but we call them hot dogs, you know? But the only difference between America and West Indian, you know, it is what it is, you know? It's dick. So that's what you're going to eat. You're going to eat a brain, it's a brain, you know? You're going to eat the intestines, you're eating cow intestines. Whatever the case can be, that's what you eat, you know? Not like here, we dress it up with a pretty name, hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, back to where I was getting from. There's so much process that's done before the cow even hits the grocery store. The cleaning process, the chemicals that they put the meat through to wash it and sterilize and all this stuff. I mean, I don't think that's really natural. It's not natural enough. There's too much process, and then we have to cook it also, So, when you eat this stuff, right? Yeah, it's high in protein, but then the protein itself is also collective. The animal protein, the cow meat, the beef, is collective with what? Saturated fat, cholesterol. Then you're also getting the antibiotics. You're also getting the steroids. You're also getting all the chemicals that's also attached to the cow meat. So here's the thing. Is this worse than eating soy? I don't think so. Especially if you're getting the soy products that's organic. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen the forums. I heard certain forums and certain studies say, or certain people rebuttal saying that even with the organic, and this is true too, like with the FDA, they do allow up to 200 to 250 like different types of chemicals that can still bypass as, or in a product that can still be bypassed as organic. But look, here's the point, A, if you're not growing your own shit, don't worry about it. It's all about getting everything with the least amount of chemicals as possible. So if you're getting tofu that's soy and it's organic, guess what? Within that list of 250, I know all that 250, all those 200, that whole list isn't in that soybean or that tofu block. Maybe some, if any. But here's the case. Excuse me. Here's the case. Try to consume a least amount of chemicals that you can. That's it. Don't be some paranoid freak trying to be super duper clean, busting your budget that you could barely live, try and get everything as clean as possible. Think logical. All right? Beef, after all the stuff I talked about, versus the tofu block. Now, if you're allergic to soy, totally understand. You can't eat it. But if you're not, why not? It's a complete protein too. So, and that's what you need to build muscle, especially if you're an athlete. Remember, like I said, if you're allergic to soy, that's fine. That's a good reason to stay away from it. But if you're just some paranoid freak, come on, and you're trying to be an athlete or trying to break the barriers of not being this malnourished vegan, we have to get the complete proteins in. All right? So a complete protein is the full amino acid profile that makes a protein. So we need all the amino acids to make a protein. Now, is there stuff out there that's incomplete as a vegan? Yes, a lot of it's from regular vegetables like broccoli and spinach and stuff like that. These are incomplete proteins, right? They have a amino acid profile, but it's not complete. Can you build muscle from it? Yeah, but you're not going to get the same results versus complete. It's like you're not putting the puzzle together, so don't expect to get the whole 100% results. So you need to consume a full complete amino acid profile. That means complete proteins to be able to achieve the muscle growth that you need. So here's the thing: when we're vegan, it's not about who's the cleanest. It's not about if things are processed or not and stuff like that. I'm not the one that will sit here and preach and talk about processed vegan stuff is bad for you, this and that, or or tofu is processed, so don't eat it. I'm not the one to sit here and say that because look at me. I feel completely fine. I got my blood tests and my blood levels checked. Everything's completely fine. I have my calcium's up, my testosterone's up, iron is up, fiber is good, like my blood is good. Nothing's going on. All right. I don't feel like I have some type of weird disease going on. I don't have no weird bumps. I have very perfectly clear skin. I wake up energized every single day, and I pound the weights every single day. I play racquetball too. I play a good game. Like, I feel great, So I'm the last one to tell anyone about processed stuff. Now, I will say this. Now, when it comes to nutrients, right, will it differ? Yeah. If you're cooking, and that's the same thing. If anything that's processed is cooked, yeah, you're destroying nutrients. You're not going to get a lot of nutrients out of it because you change that whole molecular structure, So, I always say, have a balance. I'm the things that I do is I try to bring a balance between things, especially with my clients in general, or people or like what we're doing here. I just try to bring a balance. I don't try to bash anyone, I'm vegan for the animals, straight up, that's it, so everything else is oblivious. But to get people to be calm and just remember that, I try to bring a balance. I don't try to say what's better and what's not. Now, I will say this. When it comes to nutrients density, anything that's raw, you're going to get the full, it's living, right? The organism is living. So if you're getting something raw, of course, that's going to be the healthiest. I don't care what anyone say. Raw vegans are the healthiest. It is the healthiest. But at the same time, is it hard? Can you be able to achieve the same amount of protein or try and get to a particular goal, especially, let's say, it's muscle mass, let's say it's hypertrophy? Is it possible on a raw food diet? Yes. But you will be eating a lot of food, all right? And knowing that this is America, knowing America, we're very convenient. We want things now. And people say they like to eat, but really, a lot of people don't eat. The average American eats between 1 and 2 meals a day. So I don't care if people say, I love to eat, I want to eat, eat a lot of food. No, because if that was the case, 80% of Americans would not be obese or overweight, right? So, and this is what I do. These are the people that I see. Even athletes, they'll probably have like 4 meals. They're not even eating enough nutrients that they need for the performance or the aesthetics that they want. So, with that said, balance. Have your protein, get the sufficient amount of protein that you need, and then add it with like some raw vegetables. Like me, my favorite raw vegetable is spinach. Spinach has so many great properties in it. So many great properties. And the thing about spinach is so easy. It's just a bunch of leaves. And it looks great on any dish. Let's say spaghetti, right? I make this type of spaghetti. I use the substitution meat, right? Let's say chickenless chicken from Trader Joe's. This is like one of my favorites. Chickenless chicken from Trader Joe's. I put that together with some tomato sauce, some vegan cheese, and a tomato sauce. You can make that on your own. That can be raw. You want to get more raw nutrition in? There you go. The raw tomato sauce. You can make it on your own. Get some sun-dried tomatoes, some regular tomatoes, some parsley, oregano, salt. Throw that stuff in a Vitamix, blend that shit together, boom, bada bing, bada boom, you got tomato sauce. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe me? Come to the vegan cooking class every first of the month. I'm there, Raheem's there, Patricia's there. We're all there teaching classes every month, once a month, in the beginning of the month, teaching these classes, and we'll show you how to make stuff out of raw material. Now, and then I got some brown rice pasta, which only takes 7 minutes to cook. You just boil it up and let it sit in the hot water. That's it. 7 minutes. You're done. And then you get a lot of raw spinach. You could put that down as the base. You don't even have to make a salad. You just put that as a base. You put the pasta on top, tomato sauce, and the cheese. Boom. You know? So now you're getting what? I would say between 2 to 3 servings, right, of spinach, right, in one sitting. You know? You're getting your carbohydrates, which we're going to talk about next. You know, you're getting more vegetables, your tomato sauce, because you got it raw base, and you're getting your protein. And you're getting protein from the spinach too. So you're getting some incomplete amino acids, but guess what? It's going to be complete because all the food you're consuming is adding up to what? The imitation meat too, because the imitation, like the chickenless chicken, is made out of pea protein. And since it's a brown rice pasta, right? Because when you have pea and brown rice, right, they both have protein and they both have amino acids. A lot of things have amino acids in it. Just about any type of food has an amino acid profile, right? But particularly pea and brown rice, right? Now this is already isolate. The meatless chicken is already complete, right? But now you're adding brown rice to it, so you're even getting more, and when it actually breaks down into your body, it's complete. So the molecules are going to match and read each other, plus you're getting the raw food nutrition too, so that's going to also blend in to those molecules. So now you're into that amino acid profile, so now you're getting a good mixture of a complete protein, you know? Now, that's what I mean balance. You know, it's just like your own food pyramid, you can say, you know? But that's what I mean with balance, you know? Should you be eating processed stuff every single day? Nah, you know, you should be getting some proteins from raw stuff, like, rolled oats or something. Rolled oats, you know? But, but you can get things raw, you know? Just mix it up. Pretty much, yeah. So that's protein. Now let's talk about carbohydrates. This is my favorite. Now, when we're on the vegan diet, a plant-based diet, the thing about carbohydrates is this: you have good carbohydrates and bad, simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. So, simple carbohydrates is high starchy foods that's very processed. Pretty much I'll always break it down and make it simple. I like making things simple, and this is like a military term we use. It's called breaking it down Barney style, right? Because it's like Barney the show. When you watch Barney, they break it down. They have their little song, their little rap or whatever. And they break it down where it's so easy, it's so simple to remember. I don't like using a lot of complex words. Yeah, I like making it simple because that's how nutrition should be simple, right? So simple carbs is what? Like white potatoes, white bread, white whole wheat flour, candy, things that can break down to glucose extremely fast. Probably like, you could say within 15 minutes, Are these bad? It depends. But in this case, we're going to say yes, right? Let's say fat loss is your goal, right? If fat loss is your goal, you don't want to be consuming a bunch of what? Sugar. That's why you got fat in the first place. So, eating white rice, going to Taco Bell and getting a burrito with white rice in it, and wrapped around a white burrito with like a quarter of salad and a quarter of vegetables in it, it's not good. It's going to make you fat. So you don't want to consume this. Because fat is stored energy, and this, I don't want to jump to the fat, but that's what fat is stored energy. But we'll talk about fat later. So with carbohydrates, right? Simple carbs, no. Now, if you're a high endurance athlete, like a bodybuilder, like myself, or a runner, or a triathlon athlete, can these foods be beneficial? Yes, under a controlled condition. Let's say, a runner. On those long runs, sugar is what they need because have you seen a lot of fat runners? No. A lot of them are skinny, so they don't have a lot of what? Fat, which is what? Stored energy, right? So that means their body is actually being fueled by carbs. That means they're carb dominant people, right? Can people be depleted in carbs during the actual duration of the exercise? Yes. And when that happens, what happens? They feel sluggish. You feel slow. You get angry because carbs is essential energy. It's like it helps us do everything we need to do. And the thing about like during that period, if we're depleting, and we need carbs now so we can keep going, having a little bit of white rice or having candy or something like that, you'll definitely feel a spike in your insulin levels. Or not even candy because it is a bad choice, a bad example really. But bananas, a fruit. Bananas is beneficial because is more beneficial actually because when you do a banana, you're getting sugar. Because bananas are considered as a simple carbohydrate. So you're getting sugar, you're getting the carbs, and you're also getting a lot of other stuff that's beneficial, especially for runners, potassium. Because potassium helps and prevent muscle cramping. So, for example, like simple carbs has its place and has its time. A lot of foods has its place and it has its time. But to make it simple, if you're trying to lose weight and you want those shredded abs, stay away from the simple carbs. That's it. All right? Complex carbs. Now, complex carbs are carbs that are slow burning. They break down a lot slower than simple carbs. They don't take 15 minutes. They take maybe a couple hours or sometimes a whole 24-hour duration. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Think about how complex carbs work. Is that once it's broken down, how it actually is used in the body, they actually go into the liver and store. Like the sugar stays into the liver. So even if you're not using it after it's broken down, and you're doing and you're not doing a physical activity, right? The actual carbs, the glycogen, when it breaks down to glycogen, it stores within the liver. So, and it stores in the liver within 24 hours until it's ready to be used. Now, if you don't use that shit, will it turn to sugar and fat? Yeah. So you need that's why exercise and nutrition plays such a vital role. But look at how much stuff you have to do with nutrition. Look how much stuff that goes on within the nutrition aspect. That's what we cover. We already covered protein. We cover about simple carbs and complex carbohydrates. But look how complex it is. This is why we need to be more educated in the nutrition field, especially if we're working out. They work together. And if you know what you're doing, you're putting in the right foods into your body, you're going to get great results in your workouts, right? Because how many times have we walked into the gym, like a gym that we've been a member to for a couple years, like at least more than a year. You'll see the same people, right? Working out, doing legs, running on a treadmill. You have your dancers. You have people who does the classes all the time. You'll see them. I know I see them because when I used to work for gyms, I used to sit there and watch people do the same shit every day. People that will refuse training, refuse nutrition, and go to a group class every freaking day. Every day. busting their butt. I've seen people who go to the gym for 3 hours every single day, bust their butt, and the changes are minimum. You're working out for 3 hours, shit, you should look like Superman after 3 months. You know what I'm saying? If you're working out 3 hours a day, you should look like Superman at the end of the month. Because pretty much you're working out like a pro athlete or something. But if you're not putting in the right nutrition, if you're not putting in the nutrients that your body needs for the performance is at hand, guess what? You're going to stay the same. Your body can't adapt without the nutrition it needs. Because the nutrition builds, it recovers the body. It gives the body the energy it needs. It repairs the parts of the body that needs to be repaired every time you do physical stuff. Because things break down. Muscle breaks down. You know? Even bones, the bone density breaks down. You know? But because it's like this. For example, bones, right? The way you build bones, strong bones, isn't just nutrition. It's resistant training, right? Any type of weight-bearing exercise makes the bone harder. But because once it gets that tensity, that pressure against the bone, the body knows, like, wow, putting a lot of pressure here, we need to get stronger so we can support that weight next time. Because what you're doing, weight training, right? So your body is very complex. It's very smart. It's a very organic and very intelligent machine, you know? It doesn't want to get hurt, so it just wants to build barriers and things to adapt so the body can stay strong. But you have to give what the body wants or what it needs, you know? So this is where the vegan diet really plays a vital role. You're giving the right protein it needs, yeah, it's going to build the muscles. Yeah, let's make it simple. It's going to build the muscles. Yeah, you eat the right vegetables that you need. Yeah, it's going to help repair what? The immune system. It's going to help repair what? The bones. It's going to give the bones what? The calcium and the iron it needs so it can stay stronger. Yeah, and stay nice and strong. Yeah. And also it's an alkaline, so whatever toxins or acidity levels that goes on in there is going to help balance that out. Because what? 70% of our body is made out of water. So we don't want to have a bunch of acid in there. Yeah. But with complex carbohydrates, what's considered carbs? Anyone? You know, like complex carbs. Anyone in the audience? So, like, we have, let's make a list. So we have brown rice, right? We have quinoa. We have oatmeal. What else do we have? Anyone else? Sweet potatoes, you know. What else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, lentils, different beans and legumes, you know, things like that. So we want to stick to this. And also, for more protein, you get some of these carbohydrates like legumes. For example, let's look at lentils. You know, you want to get more protein in your diet. Now, you have to start adding things together. You know, I don't like looking at like things on Facebook that says like the broccoli versus the beef. Everyone see that? Now, I don't like doing stuff like that because you know how much broccoli you have to actually eat to actually equal out to the amount of protein that you need to make it a steak? It's a lot because they do it by grams and no one's not going to sit there and actually do the math. But guess what I did? You're going to be eating bags and bags and bags of damn broccoli, man. I mean, I don't know how much you love broccoli, but like I said, my favorite dish is spinach. And with broccoli, you eat that much broccoli, as much fiber it has in there, you're going to be bloated and you're going to be farting a lot. You know, no doubt. You're going to be farting a lot and no one's going to like you because you fart too much. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to like you when you're eating that much broccoli. So if you want some friends, keep a balance. You know? So, you know, with that said, yeah, when you're eating your carbs, you want to have stuff that's also has high. If you want to get a lot of protein in your diet, have the stuff that I said about the protein, but then also add carbs that has high protein in it to your dish. So adding like lentils. Guess how much 1 cup of cooked lentils have? 1 cup of cooked lentils is has about somewhere between, depending on what type of lentils it is, if it's like the tri-blend or if it's green or just red, yeah. If it's a tri-blend or something like that, or you're going to have somewhere between 20 or 30 grams of protein in 1 cup of cooked lentils. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So if you add that to a dish, let's say chickenless chicken, 1 serving, which is equal about 6 strips, right? That's about 20 grams right there. Now you add in 1 cup of cooked lentils. That's about let's say trial blend, the black, red, and green blend, right? Which is really high. 30 grams right there, right? You just got 50 grams of protein in one sitting. 50 grams, yeah? People say you can't get protein. You can get protein, It's all about how you build your dish, It's how you build the dish. So the protein question is out the window. You get protein. That's 50 grams in one sitting. And I said, what did I say? If you eat about if you're sitting, we're supposed to be eating between 4 to 6 meals a day, right? Let's say we ate that for 6 meals, right? What's 50 times 6? It's 300 grams, right? 300 grams if you ate just those two for every meal, for 6 meals. 300 grams of protein. That's really high. You know what I'm saying? So no one can sit here and say, and that's a dish that is feasible to eat. A girl can eat that, a man can eat that. It's a very small dish. 6 strips. These strips are like this big. It's really small. And then a cup of cooked lentils is not a lot. Especially when it's all mashed up. It's not a lot. Because it looks like baby food. And when it's like baby food, it's very easy to eat. It's not that heavy on the stomach. So with that said, you can get protein. And that's the difference between the complex and the simple. Now to fats. Same thing. We have good fats and bad fats. Now, the thing about fats, when fats are bad, they're bad. Theirs is bad. It's not like there's no time and place for bad fats. It's just bad. Like cholesterol, it's just bad. It's like if once you consume cholesterol, it's considered bad because our body makes its own cholesterol. So the only way you get high cholesterol is by consuming cholesterol. So I don't know why people say, oh, there's good cholesterol. There's not good cholesterol, because your body makes its own. So by consuming more cholesterol, you're just putting fuel to the fire. You know what I'm saying? It's not making any justice. So you have your bad fats, trans fat, cholesterol, these are bad fats. You don't want to consume these things. Now, you have your healthy fats, like omegas, right? 3, 6, 9. Now, the good fats is like, you can find good fats in what? Let's make a list. What's some good fats? Almonds, peanut butter, cashews, flaxseed oil, ahi flower oil. Clean Machine. We just made, sponsored through Clean Machine, we just made ahi flower oil, which our EPA is about 900% more than flax or chia, So if you want to get some really good ahi flower oil, look at cleanmachineonline.com or meet me at my booth after this talk. We can, hold on, let me get some water. Anyways, if you want to get some really good fats, that's the way you get them. Now, You don't want to consume a lot of fats. Like I said, it depends. You can have good fats, but you can't have a lot of fats. Now, this is also depending on your goal. You know, if it's fat loss, you know, your fats can be a little bit higher, because usually a base ratio, according to ISSA, which I'm certified through, International Sports Science Association, in sport nutrition, just the basic. I'm just going to go through the basic ratio for fat loss, or your ratio of your meal throughout the day should be, for fat loss, should be 35% protein, 25% carbs, 40% fats. So 40% of your fats of your meal is fats for fat loss. And this is like the basic, like starting generics, like starting plan for someone for fat loss. Basic. This, I'm just trying to make it basic, not for a specific individual, just basic, like broadly speaking. You know? Now, if you're like a high endurance athlete, the ratio is 25% protein, 55% carbs, and believe is 30% fats, or 35, I believe I'm right. 35, I think. I have to look back at that. But that's the difference. You know, they're more carb driven. Less. Oh, it's 20% fats. Sorry, less fat driven, and the protein there for recovery and stuff. So, with that said, you know, you see what I mean, the difference, and when I say like an endurance athlete, I mean like an ectomorph, not someone that just runs. This is like, now that we could go into genetics, you know, not just if you run and you consider yourself an athlete. Runners are born, right? So this is the truth. So a runner, an ectomorph, who is genetically gifted to be a high endurance athlete, right? This is how they should be eating, you know, because their metabolism is extremely fast, you know, and they can burn food really fast. That means they can burn food really fast. So they need the carbs so their body can keep going, you know. And for someone who's like obese, you know, this is an endomorph, right? Big bone, very wide, you know. So they want to have stuff more fat driven with small carbs, with a little bit of carbs and higher protein diet, you know, because they're more fat driven. Now, you know, but the thing is like with the goals, you know, because most high endurance athletes, they want to build muscle. So yeah, this is when a nutritionist or a health coach like myself comes in, and we tweak those numbers, because most endurance athletes, they want to build more muscle. They don't want to be bones. You know, it's just disgusting. You know, some, I won't say all, because you have some that are, then they like how they look. But the athletes that comes to me, you know, they want to have the aesthetics, they want to feel healthy, and they want to look healthy too, you know, and they want to have like some type of muscle. I mean, they'll tell me straight up, I don't want to look as jacked as you, but man, I mean, I would love to have like a nice six pack. I would love to have a little bit more muscle where the shirt's like tight on me now, all baggy and shit, and I want to feel strong, you know. So I tell them, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do, and it starts. I don't start off with the training. Yeah, I mean, I tell them about the training portion of what we're going to do, but I tell them most of it is going to be nutrition. And like I said, a lot of people don't eat enough. This is why I always run into. I don't see people that eat too much. I never run into that issue. It's people who don't eat enough. Or if they're eating four meals or 6 meals a day, those meals, some of those meals aren't really meals. They'll tell me, oh, for oatmeal, they start off good. Like, oh, for oatmeal, I mean, for breakfast, I'll have oatmeal, I'll have like a fruit, and then I'll have like a protein shake. I'm like, all right, yep, that sounds good, yeah. And then they'll go on to their next meal. So what's your next meal? All right, so my next meal, 2.5, 3 hours later. All right, so you got the timing. Yep. All right, cool. What else? Now I have an apple. And I was like, all right, yep. And what else? And that's it. See, an apple's not a meal. An apple only has about 27 grams of carbs. It's a complex carbs. It's great to have. It's a great meal to have. Like, it's a great fruit. Very high in nutrition. But it's not enough nutrition. You know? Now let's say, have a fruit with a protein shake and some oatmeal, and you blend that up into a shake. Yeah? Or, same thing. We add some spinach to that. Protein shake with oatmeal, apple, and spinach, right? And blend that all together. That's good. That's a meal. Even though it's still considered as a snack form, it's still a meal, you know? So that's what I mean. So, this is where, this is what I mean. Like, we have to learn how to be able to get a lot of nutrients in, you know? And I know I kind of fell back off the fats, but with the fat, like, to sum it all up, with the fats, we want to be able to consume right amount of fats for a particular body type we have, and also for the specific goals that we want, you know. And we're at an age of time where, because we all live such a sedentary lifestyle, that we need to track what we're eating. We need to be careful and be conscious of what we're putting into our bodies. You know, is there people out there, you know, that says like, oh, I don't track my calorie intake, and they have a really good body? Yes, you know. But here's the thing: those people, those specific individuals, is either ectomorph by nature, yeah, so they already have a fast metabolism, yeah, or B, they're very athletic, like they're constantly moving, yeah, they're constantly doing stuff, and they specifically know their body themselves. Doesn't mean that they know the body for everyone else. It means that they know their body. It's like I know my body. You know, sometimes I go off I won't say I'm perfect. Sometimes I go off the food, off the MyFitnessPal. You use MyFitnessPal as a fitness journal, right? To copy your meals and record them. But could I go off of it and still maintain what I have? Not competition ready, I'll tell you the truth. But can I maintain a 6-pack? Yeah. You know, will my fat percentage go up a little bit? Yeah. You know, but I won't have the body as a competitor. You know, because competition is competition. You know, you're dialing in. Versus when I'm just relaxing and stuff like that, I know. It's like you have to really know yourself. You know, you need to know how your body acts, how your body runs. I mean, you're the one running it, you know? So it's something like, it's kind of hard to say, but that's the only way I can explain it. If you know your body and you have a 6-pack and you can eat whatever you want, because you know how much your body really needs. Because you know when you're feeling low, you know that you're hungry. When you're feeling agitated, you know that, oh, I need some carbs, I need some food in my body. If you feel thirsty, you know, it's like when you feel thirsty, you know that you're dehydrated, you need some water. You know, it's the same thing, you know, but just more complicated because you know exactly what foods to put into your body. So, to sum it all up, you know, I hope, you know, just have a balance. You know, all I want is tell everyone is just have a balance of your meals, of what you're eating. You know, we don't have to. I believe that for vegans and non-vegans, we go too extreme on a lot of things. You know, and we need to step back sometimes and just have a balance in what we're doing, you know. And I promote a vegan and I promote a plant-based lifestyle. I promote veganism, and I believe that at the end of the day, we don't need to filter our nutrients through another animal. Everything's grown from the earth, you know. All the other animals are doing it, you know. So why aren't we doing it? And if anyone asks, like, well, there's animals out there that eat meats and stuff like that. Yeah, there is. Okay, but here's the thing. Genetically, we're not structured to eat it. We're omnivores by nature. But my belief is that this is something that we adapted. Yeah, it's like an adaptation that we have for survival. But I don't think it's something that we should be really consuming at the rate that we're doing it. I believe that we're born as herbivores, and an omnivore is an adaptation that we learned, not born with. We learn how to eat meat, not born. Because if you put a rabbit and an apple in front of the baby, a baby is going to play with the rabbit and eat the fucking apple. I know it. So I don't believe being an omnivore is something that we learn this is something that we are learned, but not genetically brought to really eat. So that's all I wanted to say today. Have a balanced meal. If you want to look more into veganism, please look at these websites that I have on the slide. Also, go on my website, bodyhdfitness.com, BODYHD fitness, FITNESS.com. Or you can see me at the table at the end of this speech, and we could talk more. Like I said, I'm a health coach. I do write personalized meal plans. So if your plan is to build muscle and burn fat, I got you. If your plan is just to burn fat, I got you. If your plan is to be a stronger athlete or competition prep, whatever your case can be, we can sit, talk, make a consultation, and you try it out. I'll talk about all the services that I offer. I offer a lot of things like private cooking classes, shopping classes, biometric screenings, monthly evaluations, the actual fitness training itself, stress therapy, myofascial release. I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things in the field that I do. So if you want more information, please come by, see my booth. If you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, just type in my name, Korin Sutton, KORIN SUTTON. On even on Twitter, just type that. That's my screen name. It's my name. It's simple. All right. I have no crazy names like Sweet Love Vegan Rock 85 or something like that. I don't have no crazy stuff like that. Just very plain simple. Like I said, make it easy, stupid, or break it down Barney style. But thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate everyone from listening. I hope everyone learned something or have at least a peace of mind of certain things. This is a subject that can go very in depth and can go into multiple directions. But I just wanted to bring out on the table that, everything should be balanced. And if you're very interested to get more in depth and more in detail to what is my balance, or how should my meals be designed for me, please come see me. All right. With that said, thank you and have a great day.